Welcome to Learn English with Stories. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and practice your English with us every day. Today's story is called The Man I Was Supposed to Marry. 3 weeks before my wedding, I saw my fiancé with another woman. I thought he was cheating. What I discovered changed my life forever. Listen carefully and enjoy the story. My name is Olivia Parker, and 5 years ago, I was engaged to a man named Ethan Carter. We met during our final year at a university in Chicago. Ethan was smart, funny, and the kind of person who could make anyone smile. We spent countless hours together, talking about our dreams and making plans for the future. After 3 wonderful years of dating, Ethan proposed to me beside Lake Michigan on a beautiful summer evening. Without any hesitation, I said yes. I truly believed he was the man I would spend the rest of my life with. The months that followed were exciting. We planned every detail of our wedding. We chose the venue, sent invitations, and dreamed about our honeymoon. Our friends and family were happy for us. Everyone said we looked perfect together. I believed our future was secure. I believed nothing could go wrong.
But life often changes when we least expect it. About 3 weeks before our wedding, Ethan started acting differently. He seemed distracted and distant. Sometimes he stared at his phone for long periods. Sometimes he became quiet during conversations. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, he simply smiled and said work was stressful. I wanted to trust him, but deep inside, I felt something wasn't right. One evening, I called him several times, but he didn't answer. Hours later, he sent a short text saying he had been busy. That wasn't normal. Ethan always answered my calls. The situation made me nervous, but I tried not to overthink it. A few days later, I was walking downtown after work when I saw something that stopped me in my tracks. Across the street, Ethan entered a small cafe. He wasn't alone. A woman walked in beside him. They were laughing and talking comfortably. I had never seen her before. My heart began racing. I stood outside the cafe and watched through the window. They seemed close, too close. That night I couldn't sleep. My mind was filled with questions. Was Ethan hiding something from me? Was he seeing someone else? Was our relationship falling apart? Every possibility felt painful. The next day, I confronted him. I told him exactly what I had seen. To my surprise, he didn't get angry. Instead, he looked down and sighed. After a long silence, he explained that the woman was his older sister, Madison.
They had recently reunited after years of family conflict. He had planned to introduce her to me at the wedding as a surprise. I felt relieved, but the relief didn't last long. Something still seemed wrong. Ethan's explanation answered one question, but it didn't explain the sadness in his eyes. A week later, he asked me to meet him at a park where we often spent time together. As soon as I saw him, I knew something serious was about to happen. He looked nervous and exhausted. We sat on a bench beneath a large oak tree. Ethan took a deep breath and stared at the ground. Finally, he spoke. "Olivia, I love you," he said, "but I don't think I'm ready for marriage." For a moment, I couldn't believe what I had heard. The words felt unreal. We were only weeks away from our wedding. Ethan explained that he had been struggling with fear and uncertainty for months. He was afraid of making promises he wasn't ready to keep. He was afraid of disappointing me. He was afraid of making the biggest mistake of his life. Instead of being honest, he had hidden those feelings until they became impossible to ignore. His words broke my heart. We talked for hours. We cried. We remembered the best moments of our relationship. We wished things could be different. But no matter how much we talked, the truth remained the same. The wedding was canceled. The following months were some of the hardest days of my life. Everywhere I looked, I saw reminders of Ethan. The wedding invitations, the photographs, the plans we had made together. Everything reminded me of what I had lost. For a while, I felt angry. Then I felt sad. Then I felt lost. But slowly, I began rebuilding my life. I focused on my career. I spent more time with friends and family. I traveled to places I had always wanted to visit. Little by little, I started feeling like myself again. During that difficult period, I learned an important lesson. Happiness cannot depend entirely on another person. It has to come from within. 2 years later, I accepted a new marketing job in Seattle. I was excited about the opportunity and ready for a fresh start. One afternoon, while attending a business conference, I met a man named Ryan Mitchell. Ryan was different from anyone I had ever known. He was confident without being arrogant. He was kind without expecting anything in return. Most importantly, he listened. He genuinely cared about what people had to say. At first, we were simply friends. We met for coffee, shared stories, and talked about life. There was no pressure, no expectations. Everything developed naturally. As the months passed, our friendship grew stronger. Eventually, it became something more. Ryan knew about my past, and he never judged me for it. He understood my fears and respected my boundaries. One evening, we were walking along the Seattle waterfront while the sun was setting over the water. The sky was painted with shades of orange and gold. Ryan turned toward me and asked a simple question. "What does happiness mean to you?" I smiled and thought for a moment. Then I answered, "Being with someone who chooses you every single day." Ryan smiled. A year later, he proposed. This time, everything felt different. I wasn't focused on having a perfect wedding. I wasn't chasing a fairy tale ending. I was choosing a partner who had proven his love through actions, honesty, and consistency. The following spring, we got married in a small ceremony surrounded by family and close friends. As I stood beside Ryan, holding his hand, I realized something important. The man I was supposed to marry was never Ethan. Ethan was an important chapter in my story, but he wasn't the ending. The man I truly was meant to marry was standing beside me.
Today, when I look back, I don't feel anger or regret. Life has a way of leading us exactly where we need to be. Sometimes a closed door isn't a tragedy. Sometimes it's the beginning of something better. If Ethan and I had married, perhaps neither of us would have found the happiness we eventually discovered. His decision hurt me deeply, but it also gave both of us the chance to find the lives we were truly meant to live. Thank you for listening to Learn English with Stories. We hope you enjoyed today's story, The Man I Was Supposed to Marry. If you enjoyed this English listening practice, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Tell us in the comments, what would you do if you were in Olivia's situation? Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep improving your English every day. See you in the next story. Goodbye and take care.